Heat. They'd be a
And you can see that with Cleveland. Last year when he took him off the Cleveland's team, he went to Miami.
Oh, Cleveland wasn't good last year?
Well, we can all have our own opinions on that one.
Right.
All right, you guys, this was an excellent first round to play. And before we go to Perfect Pets, we're going to take a point check, and we're going to round out round one with a win by Cole Gallagher.
Oh, it's 2 in a row.
It is 2 in a row.
Wow.
It's going to be tough, boys and girls. 10-5 to 5. End of round one. We'll see you after these beautiful pets at the Cooley Region.
So first up today on Perfect Pets, we have 2 brothers, Copper and Carter. They're both only a few months old, but they're very sweet and lovable and very playful, and are looking for a nice home that'll take care of the both of them. And here we have Oreo. He's a 1.5-year-old border collie, very high energy, sweet and lovable, but he needs lots of space in order to run around and stave off some of that high energy. And here we have Bailey. He's a 6-year-old pug beagle mix, very curious, very sweet, loves to please people, and would love to get a little bit of exercise to shed just a few extra pounds off his body.
More about adoption for these pets or others, contact the Cooley Region Humane Society at 781-4014.
Howdy, welcome back. We had an interesting round one where Cole Gallagher took the lead 10-5 over Courtney and Joe. Well, we're going to head into a segment that I like to call Buy or Sell, with about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different topics where our contestants are going to buy or sell the topic. First off, Detroit Lions now have 2 losses in a row, guys. We're sitting atop the NFC North with the Green Bay Packers. Now sloughing a little bit, moving into second, of course. The Bears just pulled out a win as well. Joe, started off, buddy. What do you think about the Detroit Lions?
I can't buy this one for sure, especially with Stafford going down in that last game. You know, that guy just can't stay healthy, and I mean, with that happening, you know, he was a good quarterback with Calvin Johnson, Megatron there, but losing 2 games, and then with Coach Schwartz and the debacle with, you know, Harbaugh and San Francisco, I mean, I don't know if they're losing focus there or not, but I mean, the Packers in the NFC North, you can't top those guys out.
Cole, you're looking mighty frustrated over here. You're the first contestant. What do you got to say?
That coach's fight has nothing to do with anything. That would motivate any player for a team, honestly. It would. And I think I'm going to buy the Detroit Lions, believe it or not. I think they're going to beat the Packers twice this year.
Even without Javid Best maybe being out for the rest of the season?
Yes, even without Javid Best. Stafford and the best receiver in football right now, Calvin Johnson, are going to get it done. I said it first. Yep, that's in your face, Drew White. They have Sue and Vandenbosch on the defensive line, who are just monsters.
And they haven't even got Fairley to play yet.
Yeah, exactly. Sue is unblockable when he wants to be. Purely unblockable. He might talk trash, but he's unblockable.
That is true. Who knows if that was even real? You know, the Falcons and the Detroit Lions with the smack talk when Ryan got hurt. It hasn't really played off too much. They're probably going to just end it. It's done. Courtney, what do you got about the Detroit Lions?
I disagree 100% with Mr. Cole Gallagher. This is a definite sell topic. What the heck? You know, hell will freeze over before the Lions will take the NFC North.
I'll put money on it.
Right now, swearing it. I mean, look at the Packers. You got 7-0 this season so far. Rodgers threw 3 touchdowns this past weekend against the Vikings for 335 yards. You got one of the best wide receiver cores in the NFL. You got James Starks, who pretty much wrapped up the game on Sunday. You got an unbeatable team. If anything, I'd say there's a little fight between Chicago and Green Bay.
Oh, geez.
I think they can. I think they can do it.
Put some money on the table.
I think they can do it.
Put the money on the table.
Perfect example of somebody sticking their neck out. But with the stats that Courtney brought out, I don't know really how I can fight against that, because I'm not a big fan of the Detroit Lions either, Cole. Courtney, taking it. For the first topic of Buy or Sell.
Thank you.
It is now
Thank you.
10-5.
Yeah.
All right.
Lovely.
Moving to the hard courts now. The AP poll came out last week, guys, and North Carolina Tar Heels were ranked #1 in college basketball. Cole, do you buy or sell on this topic?
Oh, I buy him. I think Harrison Barnes is going to be the man this year. He's a 6'8" forward from Iowa, and he averages over 20 21 points in his last 10 games. There's going to be 3 All-American candidates on the Tar Heels, Barnes, Zeller, and John Henson.
Yep.
It's going to be gross. They're going to beat Duke up and down, I think.
Duke, I will think, is too young. When the prospects get older,
Right.
you bet.
Absolutely.
Is that what you got?
That's all I got.
Joe, seeing as that the
I don't
NBA
know.
lockout is going on, a lot of teams will be keeping their young guys. North Carolina, a very young team, seeing as Harris Barnes is only a sophomore now. How do you like the North Carolina Tar Heels?
Yeah, I buy it as well. Agreeing with Cole, I mean, I'd like to disagree so I can get some points on that board. But definitely, you know, with the NBA lockout going on, those young players aren't going to be leaving. And like you said, they're a young team. You know, they've been good for a while in the past, and they're just going to keep it going. Like, beat Duke definitely twice. I see it happening.
Do you see Duke's young players stepping up a little more than the young players in North Carolina? Courtney?
I actually agree with you. I do buy this. Coach Roy Williams just gave an interview about his young freshman players and said, you know what, they're not good enough yet. We're to train them hard. We're to be, do the best we can do to make sure we have a #1 basketball team. And I think he's right. You know, they were 26-7 overall last year.
It's such a young team.
Yep, for a very young team. They have a really heavy schedule kind of in the beginning, so we'll be able to see how they do right off the bat. So.
Guys, I'll be honest. You're getting swept by the girl. Courtney,
Well, who
taking
else would
it.
be #1? I don't know. I could argue with her all day.
You could argue with her, but you're not going to argue with me because I am the host. I pick the points.
I'm Wisconsin.
The host with the most.
Courtney, beautiful job,
Thank
girlfriend.
you. Thank you.
All right, guys, baseball news. Epstein today finalized that he is now going to be the general manager of the Chicago Cubs, looking to bring in some old guys that were with him with Boston. Buy or sell on Epstein, guys. Cole, you started off.
Oh, I sell Epstein to the Cubs. He doesn't have the payroll to even, like the Red Sox had a huge payroll. The Cubs do not have the same exact payroll. So, and I don't foresee him making the same kind of sabermetric kind of deals that he did because he's big into the mathematical part of baseball. Unless they get Pujols or Fielder, I don't foresee them doing well. And they have a revolving door at manager. Quaddy's going to be out this year. I mean, he's got to go out and find somebody. They ignored Ryan Sandberg, who's in their minors.
Cubs legend.
Yeah, he's
almost.
a Cubs legend. Yeah,
Cole, I agree 100%. Courtney, what do you think?
I'm also going to sell this topic. I think, coming from the Red Sox, he did a great job there, as we all know, breaking the 86-year curse. But the Cubs have not won a title in over 100 years, and the last time they were at the World Series was 1945.
But just think about the Boston Red Sox. Who they brought in to end that curse.
I agree with you, but we got to look at this logically.
Payroll,
it's the
man.
Cubs.
That's true.
Joe,
do you agree?
They have no
Disagree?
pitching.
Buy, sell, Epstein, go.
Oh, let's see. You guys don't like him. Well, I'm going to buy it. Because, as you just said, he broke the curse of the Red Sox. And I think he can come in and turn this team around. Obviously, I hope there's no, drinking in the dugout. I don't think, obviously, that has anything to do with it. But
You probably supplied.
no, maybe that's why I got out of there. But
Exactly.
I definitely think, he made his stake at the Red Sox, and he can come to the Cubs and do it.
As much as I dislike the Chicago Cubs and not really a big fan of the Boston Red Sox, what Epstein does for teams is bring in good players to end droughts.
God.
Joe
He
Etten
doesn't.
taking Epstein to the Cubs.
He's not gonna.
Nice chance.
You
not
bet,
gonna
guys. It is now 15-10, leading into our next topic, which is, highly controversial. Oakland Raiders just picked up Carson Palmer before this week 7. He was on the couch just a week and a half ago, watching football, being shoved in there by Oakland in the third quarter, coach's decision over Kyle Boulder. Both of them throwing 3 interceptions. Joe, do you buy or do you sell Carson Palmer to the Oakland Raiders?
I'm going to buy it. Give him some time. He'll come in. He'll turn it around. Being thrown in there this week, I don't know. They had to do something.
It's kind of unfair.
Yeah, but Kyle Boller obviously wasn't doing anything great. Carson Palmer, he's got to step it up. I know he's got, in the past, injuries and, having wishy-washy towards the end of his season at the Cincinnati Bengals. but I think he's got the coach around